All right, Mystery Marathon, volume whatever. I don't remember.
Me either.
Something.
We don't keep track. We don't do these.
8.
We do these irregularly.
What's funny, we're gonna start doing them more because I actually prefer these. I think that these are fun. This is kind of like how I like doing the channel, is just like watching a ton of movies and then just talking about them all at once.
Yeah.
Because like watching a movie and then talking about it, and watching a movie and talking about it takes way more time and effort.
It does.
And
And
watching
also,
like 6 or 7 films.
it's kind of fun. 6 or 7. It's kind of fun to talk about them all at once too, because it's more like, I don't want to say it's not stream of consciousness, but like organic, I guess. I don't know, because we can talk about other movies as well that it like reminds us of or whatever.
Sure.
So, yeah. Anyway,
So,
Mystery Marathon.
yeah, I mean, as far as like the mystery goes, I guess it'll kind of be revealed in the title, but so we watched everything that is connected to Rosemary's Baby. If you don't know everything, then that'll be the mystery. So we're going to start here with the first film, which is part of the Apartment trilogy from Roman Polanski. No comment on Roman Polanski yet. I'm sure we might get there at some point, probably during another movie. But for now, let's just focus on the film. And this is Repulsion from 1965. And yeah, we follow our main character here, who is from Belgium, and she is in London with her sister as a manicurist, or she works at a salon.
She's a manicurist, yeah.
And yeah,
Which is the way that, I don't know if this is what happens in spas, but like she does people's nails like while they're getting facials and stuff.
Some people do that.
Which seems like a lot.
Yeah, some people do that. They just want to condense as much into an hour appointment as they can.
Yeah.
Your hands are just laying there. Why not?
Sure, I guess.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like it.
It's just too much stimulation
Yeah.
for you. Yeah. Yeah, this might have been my favorite of all of them. I just, this is one of those types of metaphorical films that I vibe with. This is in black and white. And of course, we're talking spoilers here for all of these films, people. So if you haven't seen them, you can always pause or skip to the next one for the ones that you have seen, and watch them, come back, whatever you like. You do you. We'll do us. I'll do you.
I'll
do
do
me.
you.
Okay.
You guys do other people.
Please do. Yeah, I mean, so I can only assume, right, from what we're given, that she was sexually assaulted by a family member. So the photo we see in the end is of what appears to be a family member. One could assume it's a dad, could be an uncle, who knows? But I can only assume she was molested, raped, something by a family member, and now is disgusted by men and just wants absolutely nothing to do with them. And because she's a pretty girl who exists, basically, but especially in this time period of the 1960s, where women were just genuinely seen as like objects, and if a guy just even noticed you, you might as well
you
just
were
give it up.
Obligated.
Yeah.
This would be my second favorite in the films that we watched. I also quite liked this. I really liked the atmosphere, and I was really like into our main character. But yeah, like the guy, I don't even want to call him a love interest because he's not, but like he literally sees her. She's like walking home.
Yeah.
And he sees her outside of a window and then follows her to she's going to lunch. He follows her to the restaurant she's going to, and then is like trying to get her to go on a date with him and all kinds of stuff. And it's crazy. Like, he just picks her up and is like, she doesn't even agree to go on a date with him, like, ever. And somehow he acts offended when she forgets their date and is all like weird when she doesn't want to kiss him back and stuff. And it's, I don't know, that stuff is all really crazy.
I would be very curious to know how what the reactions from like the general, especially male audience was in 1965, right? We're watching this 60 years later
there
through
were
a
people
2025
in this
lens.
that time that were like, "This is wrong. Women
Sure, I'm not
shouldn't
saying
be
that.
treated like
I'm not
this."
saying they don't exist. Of course they do in any time period. But I am curious because this guy has absolutely no cause at all for thinking this chick is even remotely interested. And he 100% thinks that she has like led him on and is like pissed at her, straight up tries to rape her, like kicks down her door when she's not responding to him. Like this,
Yeah,
like I can only assume that this guy, at any time period, was seen as a villain, right? Like,
I would hope so. Yeah, I don't know. It would be interesting to like read reviews or hear reviews of people during that time who watched this film. And also, we talked about this. Like, I know we're not going to really get into it maybe until later, but like, this is also really weird that Roman Polanski made this film,
yeah,
and then like later on, he ends up molesting and drugging a like 13-year-old girl.
yeah.
Because yeah, like there's such a fear of
Every accusation is
sexuality in this, like,
Yeah.
and I mean, I guess I don't know if it's sexuality or if it is just men in general, because all of the men in this are awful.
Yes.
Her sister's like boyfriend is like a pig. And
Well, yeah,
like
he's married.
he's awful, and the landlord that comes when she's like lost it at that point, like she's already killed the guy that's come to like her love interest, which is great because he like straight up just like breaks the door down. Anyway, she's you know like wearing a, I don't know if those are called negligees, but it's kind of like a see-through like gown thing.
Yeah.
And it's like really hot as well. So that's the other thing, like aside from all the stuff around like the men in the film, there's also this paranoia that I really like, where she's locking herself in the apartment, she's having these reoccurring nightmares of like a man breaking in and raping her, and it's all like a really heavy atmosphere on top of like getting like radio of like how hot things are, and the fact that her sister, you know, kind of abandons her when she asks her not to leave her there alone. Plus she's in another country. There's a lot in it. And
definitely don't forget the, you know, the imagery of the fracturing of things that is supposed to mirror her mind.
The walls keep fracturing, there's cracks in the sidewalk and everything, and she's so like focused on it. There's also
hands coming through the walls and
really,
the hallway.
really great imagery. There's also like a dead rabbit in this,
which she carries the head of in her purse.
And I love the ending of this too. The ending is crazy.
Yeah.
The ending is like she kills the landlord, she kills her love interest, she just like throws a couch over the landlord's body basically, and when her sister and her boyfriend return, they find the dead body of the lover, of the love interest, in the bathtub.
Yeah. And
then like everybody from the apartment complex just starts coming in and just like
Beau is afraid.
Yeah, they're just looking at the bodies, and she's hiding, like she's under the bed.
Yeah.
And she's like,
which is probably where she hid from her dad.
Yeah,
right?
And she's like not comatose, but she's she like is just not there anymore. Yeah. There's a really creepy shot though, catatonic.
Yeah.
Of like the boyfriend of the sister like picking her up, and like her eye, like when she like looks at him, because like I think her eyes are closed, and then like there's a shot where she's like looking at him all like intensely, and then we get that shot of her as a child, what we can assume, where she is like glaring, but it's a really interesting expression because in the context of the rest of the film it's like a glare, but she also looks like really afraid too. It's like both.
Yeah. There's
the disgust and anger and fear.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like everything in this film.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately for her, I think the lack of like response and interest that she gives, especially the our main guy here, the first kill of hers. That's like what drives them insane, right? Because women back then, as far as film is concerned, anyways, I wasn't in the 60s, so I don't know how it was. But they just seem to fall over men if men even give them the slightest bit of attention.
Film, yeah.
And in this, it's just like, this chick wants nothing to do with it when he, like, tries to kiss her in the car, and she's just like, get the fuck away from me.
What's crazy?
It's like he doesn't know how to handle it at all. It's like, be a regular girl. Want me.
And even...
Give it to me.
Even, like, her friend that she works with, like, kind of all the women around her are also, like, you know... just with guys, kind of seemingly because they're supposed to be,
they're
sort
the
of.
Classic 60s.
And, yeah. This one was good. I liked this one a good amount. Yeah.
Yeah, some great imagery. I mean,
good imagery for sure.
The hands reaching at her in the hallway is very reminiscent of Romero's Day of the Dead. Obviously, this came like 20 years before that, so I do wonder if that's somewhat of a nod to this. Yeah, I mean, there's tons of stuff to analyze, break down, look at here. I think that this has some great stuff going on in it, and is definitely one of the earliest precursors to the horror that we have now. Like, this fits in very well with the, like, A24 style,
very
like elevated horror. This is like the blueprint for the films like that. And yeah, very up my alley. Good stuff all around. So that's the first film. We're actually gonna skip the next one, and we're gonna go on to the last film in the Apartment trilogy, which is The Tenant, which stars Roman Polanski himself. He directed all three of these, of course. And I know that Kaylee is definitely lower on this one than I am. I like this more than she did. I think there's some really cool stuff at the end, especially. And I think because he's a rapist, and, you know, Kaylee obviously very much dislikes him. And she was... Okay, I'm not going to speak for you.
What I'll say, because it's like, it is complicated. We've had this conversation. I think we've maybe kind of had it on the channel a few times, but we've also had it privately, where it's really difficult when you have, like, a creator of some film or book or whatever that you personally don't agree with any of their beliefs, or, like, you don't support what they stand for, but the stuff that they've created is something that you enjoy. And it is a really weird feeling, because I think you totally have every right to not engage in that content if you just, like, don't want to interact with anything made by somebody that you dislike, of course. But I think for us, like, there's plenty of creators out there that it's like, oh, like, they suck, but, like, they made this thing that I like, and it's a weird feeling. So, like, with Rosemary's Baby, that's how I feel, which we'll get there, where I'm like, I really, really like that movie quite a bit. I mean, I would say I love it, but I don't like Roman Polanski. And I think this film, mostly it is because he's in it. I did not like his performance a good amount.
I thought it was totally fine.
I don't know. Maybe it was just me not liking him.
Yeah.
Because, like, I also felt like there's a difference where it's like when I'm watching, like, Rosemary's Baby, or I'm watching, you know, other stuff with all these, with other actors, and, like, I know he's behind it, but he's not, like, on screen, like, I don't know.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, well, I guess. I don't know, but...
That's literally what it is.
I did like the ending of this, too, and I do agree with you that I think that there's some very cool imagery, but I also... This is a weird one, too, because I feel like it... I don't really know...
What's going on.
Like, what it's saying, I guess. I'm kind of, like... I like that this and Repulsion, although this one more than anything... really focuses on the paranoia of, like, neighbors in an apartment complex. And I think that's something that's very cool. But, like, what's happening in terms of the story where he's, like, turning into the woman that used to live there, and there's a kind of, like, a time loop, maybe? And is he trans? I don't know. I don't know what's going on with it, so...
Yeah, I mean, I think the most confusing aspect or element of the film, because I was like, okay, I was going along with it, and I was in the end, I was like, okay, I'm fine, like right, like he just is turning into the girl who was in his building previously. He's nuts. He's got I don't think he's trans, right? Like he's
Yeah, I don't
literally
think he's trans,
becoming
but
the
there's
character, the woman that he was, that lived in his apartment before him. He like for some reason, almost like has her spirit take over him, a possession of sorts. I don't know. The thing that confuses me, I was totally fine with everything until the last minute, right? Until it becomes like a time loop where he
yeah.
like goes into the hospital and he's in the bandages and then he sees himself coming to visit himself, which I think is just in his mind. I
I think
just think
so
that he's in
too.
his mind and he's like, now I am fully now I have fully become her,
I think so
right?
too. And I guess also part of this, like this is one of those films where I do think that like the cross-dressing in this is meant to be shocking.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of like an exploitation-ish film in that sense, at least in that aspect, I
That's
guess.
the same with Psycho. That's the
Yeah.
same with like any
Yeah,
of the
which
time.
is
Because
interesting.
I mean, these people were seen as like sexual deviants
Right,
and
right. And like
whatever.
he's kind of yeah, but it's like a shorthand to be like this character's really crazy.
Yeah,
Like, oh
a
my
man
god,
dresses like
he's
a
putting on
woman. He's out
lipstick.
of his fucking mind.
So that's I mean for the time now I think in like when we look at it from this period it's just like lazy and also incorrect, but like, you know.
But I don't think that's fair because this isn't about that.
No, it's
this
not.
is
It's
like
not.
a
This is more about the location.
this is like a as I said. I think he's almost being possessed in a way.
But I don't think he's so. Do you think it's a supernatural thing happening, or do you think that he is like losing his mind essentially? Because
I think either or could work,
for me,
but I
I
think
felt
it's probably just losing his mind.
yeah, I felt he was like becoming obsessed
Yeah.
and was kind of like making all this happen to himself.
Yeah, it's a paranoia film.
Very paranoia.
I definitely think that this trilogy is probably one of the main inspirations for Beau's Afraid.
It feels like it. This one has a lot with the neighbors, and there's a lot of like, I don't know what's real with the neighbor stuff. Like,
Them
so the
standing
shots.
in the bathrooms.
So there's like a 30-second scene that we loved in this,
Yeah.
where he's kind of like sick and this apartment is crazy because there's no bathroom in it. Like the bathroom is like in the building and you have to like walk around to go to it. And his apartment that he's in, he has a direct view of the like a window,
big open
a
window
big
in
open
a
window
bathroom.
to the bathroom. And throughout the film, he constantly will like look out his window, look over there, and see people just like standing, like not using the bathroom, just kind of like creepy standing people. Anyway, but like he goes to the bathroom, and then when he comes back, well, when he's there, he like sees himself in his apartment,
Yeah.
which is really cool.
Yeah.
And then when he comes back, like the room, everything's big and he's little.
Yeah.
Like as he's walking, and it's really trippy and weird.
Yeah.
So like that stuff I really liked.
Yeah. Agreed.
And but I guess also where I thought this film was going to, like it just didn't go where I was expecting it to go, which is not a bad thing, but I totally thought that he was going to be like the person that killed this girl to
get
take
her
her apartment, because there's like these other scenes where he's with a friend of the like love interest of his, and he's like in this really nice place, and he's like asking him all these kind of weird questions, not weird, but just like,
How much
you know, like how much do you pay? Like, do you have problems with neighbors? And you kind of get the sense that like he's gonna try and
take that?
move there, yeah. Which he doesn't. But anyway,
No. Yeah, the girl that he has like the romantic thing with is the girl from Possession. So it's cool to see her. Yeah, this is probably my least favorite, but I still liked it. I still liked it. It's my least favorite of these movies, just because a lot of it dragged for me. But I didn't dislike his performance. I wanted to murder his coworkers. I thought they were the most disrespectful
the
cunts
coworkers
imaginable.
were crazy.
the way that they, like, his coworkers acted when they were over at his house, and then also, like, when he went to his, like, coworker's house, and he's like, let me show you how to deal with your neighbors, and he blasts music as high as he could, and then when the neighbor came, he was just like, fuck off.
That was pretty wild.
I was like, wow, what a piece of shit. That's crazy.
I also have to say that, like, so I know I already said I like the ending, but I think my favorite shot in the film is when he is about to jump off the balcony for the first time, and, like, everybody's coming out. They're on the, like, rooftops and in the windows,
Staring
and it's
at
like a event where they're, like, got, like, blankets down and they're like cheering for him and stuff, and I thought that was really cool, and I messed up. So
the fact that he like jumps and then like, and gets hurt and then goes back up and jumps again,
crazy.
It was like, holy shit, man.
But
he still doesn't die. The second drop,
we can only assume that he will die, because if it is a time loop somehow and he's that girl or whatever, she does die. So eventually he'll die of his wounds.
But if he dies, he just goes back to the beginning.
Yeah.
If it's a time loop.
That's true. I don't know.
It's Groundhog Day. Yeah, I don't know either. I think he just lost his mind and thinks he's her, but regardless, it's cool to have those open interpretations. That's why I'm saying it's a good movie. I just, it's probably my least favorite of these.
Yeah.
So, The Tenant.
The Tenant. Not to be confused with Tenet.
No, nothing like
Wildly
Tenet.
different.
That is kind of a weird.
Although.
That's a weird time loop sort of movie.
Yeah, but they're different.
I wouldn't say loop.
They're very different.
Kinda loop. Kinda not. You'd have to see it. It's impossible to explain. All right. So now we move into the Rosemary baby movies.
Baby Rosemary.
There's a lot of them.
There's a lot.
So for those of you who don't know, there's quite a few Rosemary's Baby movies. So let's talk about the original from 1968, a film that I infamously don't like.
How did you feel watching it this time?
I liked it.
Oh, wonderful! I love Rosemary's Baby.
I already said I like the Tenant, and it's my least favorite.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Well, I love Rosemary's Baby. I think it's awesome. Mia Farrow, right?
So hot.
Beautiful, amazing, perfect, just so great, so adorable, and I think that this one has just like a very classic Satanic Panic vibe to it for sure.
Big time.
But it's classic. I find it really enjoyable, and I find it very messed up and just creepy in a lot of different ways.
What I kind of find fascinating is how fast the Motion Pictures Association seemed to move the goalposts on what was allowed in film and what wasn't. Like, the fact that Hitchcock had to fight with them tooth and nail just to get a working toilet in a movie and a shot of Janet Leigh in the shower where he's like, I'm going to cleverly shoot it to where you think you're seeing her naked, but you don't actually ever see anything. And, and they were like, we can't approve this movie, whatever. And then, you got a movie like this 8 years later. Because you could take other films from the time period and be like, well, there was nudity in that or this or that. But those are like small market films. Like Rosemary's Baby was a more high profile production and was released in the cinema wide and everything. Yeah. So only 8 years after Psycho and actually seeing like a full on sex scene, you see Mia Farrow's, nudity, body, naked tits, the whole thing, multiple times throughout the film. It's just kind of wild to me that they moved so far, so fast. Yeah. It's like, once they agreed to that damn flushing toilet, it was all down the toilet from there for, the sin.
In cinema.
Yeah.
Cinema. I don't know. I think the ratings board people, I think it's kind of silly, obviously.
Sure.
And arbitrary for a lot of things. Especially when it comes to nudity, like female nudity and stuff.
Yeah.
But it is very fascinating to know that, like, a flushing toilet versus now we're, like, kind of mainstream seeing female nudity, like, full on.
Yeah.
Yeah, very interesting.
So, yeah, I mean, this is just like that isolation movie where a woman is being put through the absolute ringer. I mean, I feel you can't help. If anyone doesn't feel horrible for Rosemary throughout this entire film, they have no soul.
The amount of gaslighting that she goes through is just awful. And
Craziness. And anywhere she tries to run, they're all in on it.
yeah, this is the conspiracy,
Yes.
of Satanists and witches, all of them witches. But it is so sad, and the fact that like Guy, like he sells her out so fast.
Oh my god.
Like it's crazy, and
he's such a piece of shit.
You know, they set up a like I don't know. We don't go deep into their relationship, but they seem happy enough. Like fine.
They seem like a classic 60s couple.
Yeah, but I don't know. They don't seem like... He doesn't seem overly upset or anything, but the thing that he cares most about more than Rosemary or anything else, of course, is becoming famous and being rich.
Yeah.
And that's, of course, the Satanists in film and everything will be like, here you go. It's what Satan wants for you. And he accepts that offer very quickly. And, yeah, I mean, I really hate, like, I think... It's hard to say, but Minnie and Roman, like Minnie especially, like how nosy and just like in the business and like all of that is very like claustrophobic feeling, because I just don't like the idea of somebody that I don't know like trying to have that much influence in my life, of course, which I don't think anybody does, but Rosemary's just such a sweetheart, and she really does try to make everyone happy for a while. And I think it just sucks because her own body, like when she's actually pregnant and she's in pain and everyone else outside of the group is telling her that she looks like shit and she's like losing weight and everything, and she's like, my doctor Saperstein says it's totally normal to be malnourished and like in agony for the first 3 months.
Yeah, and also she has no autonomy at all and zero privacy.
Right. Yeah.
And typically with stories like this, these are movies. This one is not the case. This is what I'm getting at. But like a lot of movies like this, they are about women's rights and like the right to choose, and they are like pro-abortion films, having the right to do so for bodily autonomy. But with this one, it's like Rosemary absolutely 100% at no time doesn't want the baby. Once she starts to get towards a certain point of like pure agony and like pain and just awfully like this is gonna kill me, she actually considers for a second, like, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't keep this, and maybe I need to see another doctor. And then that's when the baby quits it, because it's like, okay, I don't know, I don't really have an explanation for like why the baby is so awful to her body and making her die inside. But then like when she's like, I'm gonna go to the doctor and this and that, and kind of almost like a threat, he's like, all right, fine, like, I'll take it easy on you. Like, why are you being so awful to her?
Yeah.
And like, I know you're pregnant with fucking devil's child, so it's gonna be terrible on you. But it's the fact that it just shuts off literally instantly. She's like, I don't feel pain anymore.
I know. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's definitely it's hard to say that it's like a feminist film when it comes from a director that's like a rapist, so I don't know if I would call it that, but the feminist like ideas that it makes you think about, like she gets raped first of all, that's a big part.
That's such a crazy
the fact
thing.
that she like we've talked about it like multiple times after, but when she wakes up, like, so she is drugged with the chocolate mousse that tastes like shit, and that's also a really great scene because that's kind of like encapsulates like how she kind of ends up where she is, because they're having this like little celebration dinner. Minnie brings over, she doesn't want Minnie to come in, but she brings over these like chocolate mousses, and she doesn't like the way it tastes, And Guy knows that it's fucking drugged.
Yeah.
And he's, like, giving her shit for not eating it because she doesn't like how it tastes. And she's like, fine, like, I'll eat it then. Like, trying to eat it out of spite.
He knows exactly how to manipulate her into doing it.
But it's also shitty of her to be like, I'm gonna just eat it because you're, like, to make you happy, then shut up, basically. You know what I mean? Like, that's also part of what I mean by her.
That's what women were conditioned to do in the 60s.
And that's where she ends up. But she does obviously, like, scoop a lot of it out into her, like, napkin.
That's why she's somewhat coherent and is like...
So, this is no dream. This is really happening. It's awful.
Kayla says that, like, 5 times a week.
I just love the way she says it. I know that's messed up, but I think that the rape sequence is very creepy and scary. And when she wakes up in the morning and Guy's like, she's got like scratches on her, she's all groggy, and he's like, man, like, we got wild, or whatever the hell he says. Yeah. And she's like, you, like, did it while I was asleep? And he's like, yeah, it was kind of like fun in a necrophiliac kind of way.
So crazy.
Is crazy. That would be one thing. There's not even point talking about it because obviously they are not consensual, because there's plenty of couples that would be like, yeah, like, you can, like, basically use my body whenever you want, like, if I'm asleep. But that's not what happened.
He literally let the devil fuck her.
The devil have sex with her. But then also had to be like, he had to tell her that we had sex because she's going to be pregnant. Yeah. But the crazy thing about that, too, is that they could just have sex.
Yeah, the next day.
And she wouldn't even know.
Yeah.
But I think
he's like,
this is explored later in another thing, but I do think that there's a bit of, like, guilt and disgust. Yeah. From, like, he's there watching the devil, you know, rape his wife. So.
Yeah, I like the look of the jeweled devil or whatever.
That's not
I know that we get... It's kind of like that, though, is it not? Mm-mm. Like where the eyes are.
The eyes are.
Oh,
like,
right, I remember now. It's like
it's pretty.
Like just kind of like
typical.
Like this, like area, and it's like crazy.
Looks pretty like like normal
devil
demon.
eyes. Okay,
and then she has all the like naked witches around her, all different kinds of older people and whatever. Yeah, so all that's messed up. Obviously. There's just so many parts to it, and then just like obviously through. I mean, you've seen Rosemary's Baby. Hopefully, you know what happens. If you haven't, now you're getting all this spoiled for you. But you should still go watch Rosemary's Baby and make a decision of whether or not you like it.
Yeah, I didn't really have any issues with it this time. I didn't find it slow or boring at all.
No, so much happens. When she gets her hair cut, and it's like the cutest thing ever. Yes. And he's like, that's the worst decision you've ever made in your life. You look awful.
The fact that, like,
crazy.
The fact that he lets her get raped by the devil.
Yeah.
And is so, like, selfish and shitty and all of that stuff. He can't even support her, like, and be a nice guy. Like, don't you feel like...
He should be the best husband.
Don't you think that that's how it should be?
But this just shows he doesn't really care.
He doesn't care about her. 100%.
Yeah, because
it's like to fucking to rag on her when she's like going through hell. She feels awful. She's fucking like constantly crying about how she feels like she's dying. She's so much agony. She just wants to feel like herself again. She goes out and does this bold thing to, like, you know, try to
make herself feel better about how she looks.
And then she comes home and he's like, "You look like a fucking hag." It's like punching someone when they're down.
It's so awful. Because her friend, I never remember his name, but her friend that comes over, you know, obviously he's like, "You don't look good, like, not your hair, but like you just like look sick." Yeah. And she is like, I'm fine. That's what everyone else tells me. And it's very tragic, obviously, that he gets put into a coma and dies. And then when she has, like, that party where she's like, I only want to hang out with people our age, like, our old friends. Yeah. And all of her girlfriends are just like, you need to go to another doctor. Like, this isn't normal. This is not normal at all. Yeah, I mean, as you said, but this is kind of like, it's almost a... like giant metaphor for like abusive relationships 100%. Too, right? Because that's what happens in abusive. You get isolated. You get like verbally and physically abused. Yep. You get told that you know, you're like basically not to trust yourself. That's what you get taught. Yeah. And
only trust me. Only trust me. I'm the only one looking out for your best interests.
She's only supposed to trust her husband, Minnie, Roman, Saperstein, only
Right.
the people that
His
are...
friends.
Yes.
His people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very classic abuser behavior. That's just like the... It's just like the classic telltale...
Male manipulator.
Yeah, like the playbook.
Yeah.
Yeah, anytime you meet any... I don't know. I haven't really been on the other side of it as much. I think... I don't know what the opposite version of that is for like women doing it to men, because there's definitely relationships like that. I'm just so much more familiar with the men doing it to women thing, and it really is kind of interesting how they really do all seem almost identical.
Yeah.
Like in how they do it. They always take you and they love bomb the shit out of you and make you feel like $1 million. And then they start making you question the people around you.
This is
and then
also...
they start bringing you back, and they're like, oh, only hanging out with
This
their
is
friends.
also
And then you
the-
go, oh, let's
yeah.
hang out with your friends. And like, I don't really like your friends. this
Yeah,
and
like they're
that.
not good for you.
Yeah.
Like blah, blah, blah. This is also exactly how cults work too.
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
it's just on a macro level,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
The only thing that I guess I always wonder about with like Rosemary is, in the end, right, they take the baby from her, she comes in, she sees the baby, and she kind of like accepts it and is like, I'm gonna mother the Antichrist. And I always wonder, like, is this supposed to be like her being manipulated by the devil? Like, is that like, hypnotism, some kind of like draw?
I think
Or
maternal
is it supposed to
instincts.
be, like she's a mom and of course she's gonna love her child, because
A face only a mother could love.
I would throw that baby over the balcony.
Or would you? I mean, I think this is... Yeah, I think it's definitely
you
trying to
knew
explore maternal instincts.
that the baby was the Antichrist?
But we see in the next movie,
You're right. So that's Rosemary's Baby.
pretty much.
And then we got the TV movie, Whatever Happened to Rosemary's...
Look What's Happened.
Look What's Happened
Yeah.
to Rosemary's Baby.
Which like two
explores,
people have seen.
Adrian
Yeah,
is
and...
Adrian / Andrew is the baby, and he's grown up. He's all grown up.
Yeah, so I'll say this. Two people have not seen this movie because the copy that we found on YouTube had like 275,000 views. So this thing is watched more than I was expecting it to have been watched, because I've been in horror groups for 15 years. I've never in my life once seen someone mention this movie. Never once. Ever. I've seen Rosemary's Baby mentioned 1,000,000 times.
Yeah, sure.
But never this film. Never, ever, ever, ever.
I think a lot of these, like the horror sequels made by a different director that are made for TV.
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot of people are like, that's trash. I have no interest in that. But
Yeah.
it is interesting
I love it.
to find out, like,
I love that kind
just
of
a
shit.
continuation. Like,
Yeah.
it's like fan fiction almost, where it's like,
Sure.
they just want the story to go on. So I think they can turn out to be good. They can definitely turn out to be really good. And I wouldn't say this one's good. I'd say it's fine. I would say it was like what we expected. That's what we both said. It basically...
It's better than I expected it to be. Honestly, it's not great or anything.
No.
I think it's fine. And with it having a 3.2 on IMDb, that's outrageous to me. There's no fucking way this is a 3.2. I just know that people compare it to the original, and they want this to be an actual like in atmosphere and tone sequel.
Yeah.
And it's not at all. This doesn't feel like the first
Not
Rosemary
at all.
Baby in the slightest.
Yeah.
But a 3.2, I mean, we're close to the twos. That's fucking crazy. This is like a 4.5. I feel like that's probably at like
I think
fair.
the horror is shitty in this. I didn't like...
There's one or two things that I liked. Rosemary being taken away on the bus to hell, basically, by a driverless bus.
Yeah, because
I actually like that scene a lot.
It's formatted in chapters. So it's like the first chapter is about Rosemary, and you get this like...
The
5
Book of
years
Rosemary.
later, you get Book of Rosemary 5 years or whatever later, where she's been trying to like basically make Adrian good, or Andrew. She only calls him Andrew, and so it's an interesting take, because it's like, he's half Satan, but also half like man or whatever, so like maybe he does have a soul that could be saved.
Yep.
And she tries, so like she takes him away from the Satanist group and, you know, tries to run away with him and everything. And of course they are fucking magic, so they can make some random girl that they run into basically end up caring for
prostitute
Adrian. But
they give a casino to.
yeah, and then we flash forward and he's like 20 or something. I don't know what his age is. I think he's supposed to be, it's about to be his birthday, so I'm assuming he's like gonna turn 21 or something.
No, I think he's older than that. I think he's almost 30.
Oh, okay.
Because I think he's supposed to be like almost 10 in the opening, and I think this is like 20 years later. So I think he's like 29, 30.
Yeah, he's on the cusp of some kind of major birthday marker, and he's like a bad boy. Like, he's like always speeding and getting into trouble and stuff, but he has like basically an angel friend named Peter, I think, who's trying to like watch out. He's always dressed in white. So what I was gonna say, it's like, I think the horror sucks in this because it kind of comes across as more of almost like a religious Hallmark movie in a way of like, it just has a lot of like kind of heavy Christian undertones, which, like, what do you expect? Of course, you're talking about the Antichrist, but in like a kind of more like, because it's made for TV, like a Hallmarky kind of way. I thought
it was kind of cool that it had like that kind of that symbolism of like him dressed in white and like the light shining on him and stuff.
I was fine with it, but it was just, it's cheesy.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It's very, I'll just say it's very on the nose. Like, of course.
It is.
Because he's also, Adrian's always dressed all in black.
And he's like into heavy metal, heavy metal.
The heavy metal that he listens
which
to.
Which is like a Grateful Dead kind of jam band, kind of crazy. 70s psychedelic.
That's what they thought was evil?
Yeah, that's definitely the Satanic Panic. I mean, this is like as Satanic Panic as the franchise gets.
Yeah.
Because it's perfectly in that time period where they were really heavy into the Satanic Panic. This is the mid-70s. That's when it was like hard. That was when it was going big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It also explores what happens with Guy. Because obviously...
And I guess really quick, though, what's interesting is like one of the main things that set off Satanic Panic fears in America is the Manson family.
Sure.
And the Manson family, famously, the way they ended up becoming so infamous was that they murdered Roman Polanski's wife.
Is Rosemary's Baby also supposed to be one of those like film sets that was like cursed?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Because, you know, there's always, like, The Exorcist and The Omen or whatever.
Rosemary's Baby. Not that I've heard, but please correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember this having a cursed set. Poltergeist did, but not those. Poltergeist was more, like, after the fact.
Yeah.
Right. Heather O'Rourke died, and, her sister died, and the sister in the movie, I forget what I forget what her actress's name is at the moment, but... Anyway, yeah. I was just saying that Guy Woodhouse, like, he's in Hollywood, and he's, like, a famous actor in Hollywood and stuff, and, like, that stuff, like I said, like, it's the continuation of the story, like, what happens, whatever happened, what has happened. Look what has happened. Look what's happened.
To all these characters. So
yeah,
it was fine. I was fine with it.
I dig that stuff. I like that. He still owes Roman and them because of what they did for him. That he has them under the control. I like that they can do spells over the phone as someone walks by.
Yeah. That
they're lying to Rosemary still and telling her that her kid killed those kids outside when they didn't. That they trick her onto the bus and that Rosemary's fate is kind of left unknown, but she disappears, so I'm assuming she's dead or
taken to hell.
Something.
Yeah.
I don't know. So yeah, I thought for sure Rosemary was coming back in this at some point, but no, when she gets on that bus, it's the last time you ever see her. So I don't know what supposedly happened to her.
But the movie is called Look What's Happened to
Rosemary's Baby,
not Rosemary, so it's all right.
Yeah, so it was interesting to see that, and then also they hide in like a synagogue, so because the curses can't hit them in like a holy area, and it's just more of like a classic horror film in that way, and I had a good time with it.
I think just if you watch it, obviously it is not comparable to Rosemary's Baby in terms of the shots and the like. It's not like that, so you can't compare it, as you said. Although the actress that plays Minnie does return, so there's that.
That is interesting.
She returns,
and then Guy does ultimately try to kill his kid.
He
tries to run him down with a car.
He's such a piece of shit.
He is a piece of shit for sure.
Yeah, he sucks. Yeah, I don't know. You can watch it on YouTube. The quality is not great. It's
better than the Stepford Wives.
It is better than the Stepford Wives,
but not by much.
But by like a hair.
Yeah, like his like evil Satan makeup that they put on him, which is just like a white. It's like a mime.
They like are like it's like almost.
It's just white face with like 2 blood smears on his eyeballs.
Yeah.
And then he's like, they're trying to do the ritual to see if Satan, because like we find out in this that like Satan basically has done this many times, and all of his progeny, all of his like, you know, potential heirs are failures that they don't take, and this is yet another one.
Satan's just a failure.
They keep doing it because it has to be like a purely evil vessel. And he like tries to put him. They try to put him in, and then they're like, "Oh, it was a failure. He's a failure." But then they're trying to decide they're gonna make Guy kill him, and he can't do it, and he like runs out of there, and then that's when he runs into his friend, and then he ends up killing Adrian's friend outside by electrocuting him with a down power line, which is pretty funny because they would definitely electrocute him as well. It doesn't matter. But regardless, he then like hears this metal music, this rock and roll, like and he like comes out of it, and he's like tranced, and he goes on stage, and he's like, ugh, like, and it's totally like,
this is what it reminded me.
People who are like possessed by Satan are drawn to rock and roll, right? It's so satanic panic. It's hilarious.
It's so bad.
But he ultimately like he comes out of it, and then the way this ends, we got to talk about this too. Is that when he goes from that to a mental institution. Right. And this is where he, funny enough, to connect to our other mystery marathon, our last one we did, he meets the woman from Stepford Husbands, the main character of Stepford Husbands, who's his romantic love interest, and she like runs away with him, which I thought was very suspicious at first. Like, really? She fell in love with him Harley Quinn style? Yeah. Like, super quick? But then she gets him out of the mental institution and is helping him, and then she seduces him, fucks him, and then takes his seed and is literally like gonna give birth to Satan's baby after we think she's dead, but then in the end it's revealed that I think it's Roman and Minnie Cassavetes who's like, oh, it's my granddaughter, which is it?
I don't understand
because I think Roman and them said we tried to have kids, we couldn't have kids, so it can't really.
No, they're just saying that so that they can talk to the doctor.
So or like this is the next iteration. This is so Rosemary's baby. Yeah. We have at the end of this where he knocks up a girl, and this is the next vessel, right? That's gonna try to take on Satan or whatever the fuck. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's cool. I liked it. It's not great, but I thought it was a fun made-for-TV sequel that really fleshes out a lot of like what happens after Rosemary, took the baby. Sure. It's cool to see that stuff. It's silly. But I like this shit, man. There's so many random like straight to DVD, straight to TV fucking sequels to movies that people don't know about, and I'm just someone who always likes to watch them.
I know.
I find them funny.
I know.
Typically. Yeah. Sometimes they're genuinely trash. Like, genuinely awful, unwatchable garbage that deserves a 3.2 or lower. I don't think that's this. I think this is a fun, kind of silly, made-for-TV sequel that people should stop being so fucking hard
on. I this is my second to, like, my...
Least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's second fine. To least favorite, but it was fine.
Probably me too, but I still liked it.
It was, yeah. I didn't. I definitely liked it more than some of the Stepford like sequels. So.
Sure. All right. Next up, we will talk about the prequel to Rosemary's Baby, Apartment 7A. Now, we
Yes.
did cover this on the channel. We did a review of this when it came out, a spoiler-free discussion. But now we can kind of throw out some of our spoiler thoughts on this one. Which, okay, couple things really quick for me. Number one, this franchise overall just has, like, babe after babe after babe, because Julia Garner is just one of those women.
She's
It's just so gorgeous and adorable to me.
And she's such a fantastic actress, too.
Yeah. So, yeah, Julia Garner is wonderful.
Yes.
I love her so very much. Okay. I'm going to say something, and then I'm going to try to fix it, hopefully. So, I don't know how you fuck this up, but it was very glaring here, right? So, in Rosemary's Baby, they take over a woman's apartment after she dies, right? In Apartment 7A, this is the story of Tracy Giannaffrio, who was the woman who killed herself. I mean, she did technically kill herself in Rosemary's Baby, that she meets while she's doing her laundry. And it's cool to see her story, because she is the girl previous to Rosemary that they're trying to knock up and, take the baby of and everything, right? And so we get to see her story, which is awesome. It's a very cool idea for a story, a movie. But in this movie, they have this scene where it's clearly Rosemary comes down to do her laundry for the famous scene in Rosemary's Baby. And there's no way Rosemary could possibly live in the building at that point, because that woman hasn't died yet.
No.
Rosemary wouldn't have lived there for like weeks still.
Yeah.
So the only explanation I have for this is that women in the 60s had a very similar aesthetic to one another. They had a lot of similar haircuts and whatever.
Not Rosemary.
It can't be. That's the only thing that makes sense. We do not see any dialogue between them. She's never revealed to be Rosemary. It's just like a visual cue. Like, that's probably Rosemary. Look, I think it's the exact same hairstyle, exact same. Her outfit is pretty similar from what I can tell. She's clearly coming to do laundry, but we do not see them converse. We do not get any confirmation. We never see Rosemary. We never hear her name. We don't know anything about Rosemary. That is literally all we see, is this woman who looks like Rosemary walks in. It's not her. That's it. That's the only explanation. Either that or these people are morons who didn't watch the film. Do I think that's supposed to be Rosemary? Yes, I do. How they fuck that up is beyond my comprehension. Because all you have to do, babe, this is super simple. For the editor, just put the fucking that scene later in the film.
Dies, so that it's like,
how fucking complicated is that?
Yeah. No, I agree. I think it's a really weird, because it's like, of course it's fun, and it's like, that's when you're watching the prequel about Terry, and you know that there's that scene in Rosemary's Baby where they talk in the laundry room. Yeah. Even though they don't need to recreate that scene, the fact that they kind of have that moment.
Plus, it doesn't line up with that scene at all.
It doesn't. Because
she's like really happy at that point when Rosemary talks to her.
Sure, yeah.
And Terry is not even remotely happy in that scene.
It's really weird. That's definitely a pet peeve of mine for this film, for sure, too. Because
in fact, I don't think I could find a place in this film where Rosemary would have met her.
Really happy when, like, at Christmas, basically.
Very early.
When she's got, like, all her stuff and everything. And
this has to be completely rewritten.
It's fine. Yeah. I don't think she needs to be super happy when she meets Rosemary. Like, the timing, it doesn't need to be that. Like, she could be kind of freaked out or whatever.
It's
mostly just that it feels weird because, the person that's living in Rosemary's apartment, that older woman, is still there. And, like, literally comes and tries to kill her. Yeah. Kill her baby, at least.
Yeah.
I think that, I don't remember what we said in our initial review of this. these kinds of films are always hard too, because much like the sequels that are made for TV, prequel films often get, especially to like a big movie like Rosemary's Baby, it's hard to not compare it to Rosemary's Baby. As a film, I think it's good. I think that there's some pretty good, like you had kind of talked about earlier, the look of the demon or the devil or whatever in this is very demon. Cool. I really cool. Like her rape sequence where she's in this daze and it's all dancing and everything. I think that's very fitting for her character, and I do quite like that. And I, there's differences in how, like, this isn't the same thing as what happens to Rosemary, right? Because totally the way that they treat Rosemary in the original is Minnie is very doting on her. They're very sweet to her. Yeah. And they kind of start out being sweet-ish to Terry, but very quickly in this, especially Minnie, she gets really annoyed with her, and basically is like, we're giving you everything that you want, and you're being difficult about it or whatever.
Yeah, I think they kind of learn from this experience how to treat Rosemary.
Sure.
Right?
And
Diane Wiest is unbelievably perfect as Minnie.
Perfect. The voice, her mannerisms and everything. Perfect casting.
Perfect recreation.
Yeah, I loved all of that. And yeah, I mean, this is just a tragedy. This is awful because this is one of those films, like, you go into it being like, she's gonna die at the end, like, we all know that. But I do also really like the ending. I like how she dies. The ending does not line up with the original, of course, too, because they're having like a party and celebrating, and she's like, yep, I'm the mom of Satan's baby, like, heck yeah, and she does this really great dance, which I really, quite like, and throws herself out the window. And Minnie and Roman are in that party, whereas obviously in the original they're like walking up to the scene of her fall in the OG.
I mean, the only thing I can really say for that is as soon as she throws herself out the window,
everyone leaves.
Yeah, so like, okay, I can make that make sense, right? So like, by the time Rosemary and Guy get there, the police are already there, right? The police would take at least a few minutes to get there, at least, Someone would have to, see it happen. Nobody has a cell phone. People would have to run around and find someone to call the police. There would be at least a 3 to 5 minute response time, right? So this would give Roman and Minnie enough time to like kind of accept what's happened. They already have Rosemary prepped. Yeah. Right? Like they have a backup plan.
Yes.
Already in place.
And maybe that's also partly why too. Maybe they're like, you kind of suck, like, we'd rather have Rosemary. But I mean, they're all happy. They're all like, hail
I think they're constantly doing multiple people at once. Yeah. Right? Because like, as we know in Rosemary's Baby, there was a woman who lived, or is that's in the other Rosemary's Baby. Because they combine them into two characters. Never mind. Next movie. Sorry. But yeah, I think that you have Roman and them kind of be like, okay, we can't be here, right? That makes sense to me. We can't be here for this because she killed herself. If we're here, that makes us look suspicious, and we can't have people prying around here. Get on your shit. We need to go out the back exit, and we need to come around like we're just getting home, finding her body. Yeah. Right? They could have shown that in the film, of course, to explain it. I don't feel like this film wants to explain how it's tied to Rosemary's Baby almost at all. It recreates a lot of the sets perfectly. So as a prequel, I think this is actually pretty poor. I don't think that they are very concerned with continuity.
I don't think so either.
And it kind of annoys me that I have to sit here and be like, but I do think that actually makes sense. I think that her killing herself in front of them, I really like it. I think her dance is like very fuck you and sexy and like angry, and it's just perfectly like matches her, and them giving her what she wants. She's this dancer, she breaks her freaking leg.
Yeah, it's like it's definitely interesting to see her being, she wants the fame, right? Instead of, because in Rosemary's Baby, Rosemary has no idea what's happening. Like, she's just the body for the fucking thing. Whereas in this one, it's like they're telling her kind of. I mean, she still doesn't really like agree to it. Like, she gets date raped as well, but then it's kind of like, like, we'll give you what you want.
And Terry was like totally okay with fucking this guy for a part.
Yeah,
from
I mean,
what
she
can
kind
tell.
of.
She's like, I'll do anything. I
know.
just won't embarrass myself.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like, it depends. I feel like
Because she accepts it. Like, after she gets
does,
fucked by him, she's like, okay, I'll take the
because
part.
she what she wants more than anything is to dance. Like, that's like her whole thing. There's something I was going to say. Oh, yeah, I agree with what you said, though. Like, I think that this is a fine movie, but I think it is a really bad sequel, or prequel.
Yeah.
To Rosemary's Baby. So.
Also, real quick note here. This is one really silly aspect of this movie. Dancers get hurt all the fucking time. All the fucking time. Especially, like, you know, doing this kind of stuff that they're doing. Right? Sure. And for her to be almost like...
she's like blacklisted or ostracized.
Ostracized, thank you. She's like
community.
Ostracized from the community, and like people are like, that's the girl who fell, this and that. It's like, girls like this fall all the time. There's no way in hell she would be infamous throughout the dance world. It's like, oh my god, she fell during a number and hurt herself. What the fuck? Every dancer has had a huge fall, injury, whatever. Yeah, her leg doesn't work anymore. So it would be like, oh, that's the girl who fell and her leg doesn't work as well anymore. So like we can't cast her. But to like point out like she fell and hurt herself, like we can't trust her. Bullshit.
I think part of it is also that she does it in a performance. So it's not like she's doing it in a rehearsal or something. But
Dancers
it's like
hurt themselves in performances all the time. I agree.
But that's like, anyway, I feel like that's part of it, is supposed to be like, oh, you did this, like, and embarrass the production or whatever. Ruined, you know, we had to refund people. I don't know.
Super silly. Super silly. Not realistic in the slightest.
Yeah. But,
Julia Garner is the best thing about this movie by far.
For sure. For sure.
But it's a pretty shitty prequel.
Yeah.
I like it in concept.
I do too, in concept, but...
The concept of Terry's story and Julia Garner playing her, awesome. Love that stuff. Love the look of the devil, as we had talked about. There's some cool scenes. I like, you know, some of the stuff, but it's a fine movie overall, but a pretty lame prequel. After having watched, I think that Look What's Happened to Rosemary's Baby actually addresses the continuity of Rosemary's Baby better than this does.
I do too.
Which is kind of insane to me, because there's no excuse for that. There just isn't. Fucking figure out how to make these fit. It is not complicated, guys. As someone who is a continuity fucking stickler, it is not complicated to make this film line up with the other movie.
If you're gonna make a prequel, like, why wouldn't you want the continuity to match?
100%.
Like, because if you don't care about that, then just make a different film and don't make it a prequel. Like, you could do almost the exact same thing, but people would just be like, "This is Rosemary's Baby." This
is why I love the Saw movies so much.
Yeah,
they care so deeply about the continuity.
It's important, I think, for sure.
It's extremely important.
Yeah.
You will always piss me off. Always. I am the least forgiving person with continuity issues. I fucking hate them. Right?
Yeah, I know.
And this is a kid who grew up on the Halloween franchise.
God.
Right?
Yeah.
You want to talk about continuity?
That's why you care about it so much.
It drove me insane, even as a kid.
Sure.
When I would go to see, like, Halloween 5,
because
and I'm like, the Myers house is like some gothic mansion now? What the fuck is this garbage?
It's lazy.
It is lazy. It's lame. It's like, no. Figure out another way.
Because I think there's a difference between, like, continuity and, like, making something, like, you know, like, changing things to make it modern or newer or whatever.
But just around it.
Or, like, style or whatever. Like, there's a difference between that kind of a thing and continuity.
If you have a vision in mind that doesn't line up with what you're doing, write around it. Figure it out. In Halloween, say that the Myers had another estate. Didn't you know the Myers actually had 2 homes? Right? They had one in town, but they had one on the outskirts of town as well, right? Like, they had other properties. Something like that. So then when we see the new house, it's like, oh, this is the Myers, like, you know, getaway house, or you know what I mean?
It's their beach location.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
Their
It's not that
vacation
fucking
home.
complicated. Say the Myers, the Myers family had money and bought properties around town, and that's why the Strodes are into real estate, right? Because they were business partners, and that's how fucking Mike, that's how Lori ended up in their care, because the Strodes were in business with the Myers for real estate. This
like
isn't
it.
fucking
I like
complicated.
it.
I'm literally brave. I'm making this shit up off the top of my head. That's what fucking angers me. You can't put 2 seconds of thought into these things. I'll never forgive it. I will never forgive it. There's no excuse. You're a fucking hack. You are a fucking hack if you can't take 2 seconds to go, okay, I should probably acknowledge that this isn't how this goes in the first movie. So how do I make it work? Fuck you for not caring. That's because that's what it feels like. It feels like I don't actually care.
Yeah.
I was given the opportunity to make a prequel to one of the most beloved horror movies of all time, and I'm just gonna say, I don't really give a fuck. That seems so, like, angering to me. That's just so angering to me. Anyway, moving on. So yeah. Last movie. Let's get to it. The Rosemary's Baby miniseries.
Yeah.
With Gamora herself
Yep.
as Rosemary. Damn DEI hire.
Oh.
Just kidding.
Get out. Get out.
Get out, as my daughter says. Yeah. This one was interesting because it's like, it definitely does a lot of stuff from Rosemary's Baby, but it changes a lot too, which we talked about plenty. It's like, I like that this has so many like new interesting spins on the Rosemary's Baby story. I don't want the same fucking story. For anyone who's like against them changing things up in a remake, don't fucking watch remakes.
Yeah, I
Period.
think if you're gonna remake a film, like I definitely really love seeing either homages, or if it's like a story, like, yeah, I want some things to like be the same-ish, I suppose.
Yeah.
And I think homages are really fun, and I'm always a fan of those. But like we talked about, like I haven't even watched this whole movie because we watched like the first like 10 minutes and I was like, absolutely not. But the Psycho remake,
Oh my
where
God.
it's literally just like
Shot for shot.
basically shot for shot, but modern.
No, not basically.
Sorry, it is shot for shot, but just modern.
Yeah.
I hate that. Like, that's awful. I
Yeah.
like have zero interest in seeing a shot for shot just modern Psycho. Like, I
So
would much
stupid.
rather see a new version of it, you know, in a new light or whatever. But
Yeah,
this,
I'd rather Norman was a girl, and I'd rather like any of that shit.
Which
the people
some people are like,
freak the fuck out
no,
about that stuff, and that's
absolutely
fine.
not.
I get that they freak out about it. Is what it is. But I would much rather see
because
a
I'm gonna watch the
completely
original.
different film.
Like, I would rather watch the original.
Yes, of
Because
course.
even like every other remake, like when I think about like something like the Phantom of the Opera or whatever, like every other remake, or not every other, but there's so many remakes where it's like it's fun to have different like versions because you can pick and
Yes.
choose and be like, oh, I actually prefer like this version than the original,
The amount
or
of
vice versa,
Draculas
or
we
whatever.
have now.
That's a better example, probably,
Yeah.
is like the difference in like Dracula films, where you can get like basically the same story but with different flavor or like different flavors.
Yeah. Yeah.
This, I quite liked this a lot. I would say this is my third favorite in the films that we watched.
interesting.
So I would
Okay.
say, yeah, it was Rosemary's Baby, Repulsion, Rosemary's Baby miniseries, and then Apartment 7A.
Okay.
So this was cool. I really liked it. I think that it captures like a lot of the same vibes as like Rosemary's Baby, but it's totally fresh and new. Like, it's in Paris instead of New York. So
Which I had
there's-
read, one of the reasons that was because they were trying to get Roman Polanski to direct this.
That's crazy.
And he was like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
years and years after he fled the country
That's
due to
crazy.
a rape charge.
So I don't like that.
They were like, oh, we want to work with you and have you do this movie again. That's crazy to me.
That's crazy. I like that it's in Paris because to me, that adds another layer of like, kind of like with Repulsion, where you have the fish out of water, you have people, stranger in a strange land, kind of a vibe. You know, they're Americans that are in now France, and like the differences. That's not necessarily highlighted a ton, but there is a language barrier. Rosemary doesn't speak French, and that's kind of, you know,
that adds to it.
Adds to stuff early on, and you know, just, I like that, and I think that I like the Minnie and Roman in this. It's literally Lucius Malfoy, which is great.
Yeah, they're, like, younger, and they're much more in their business in a different way, where Rosemary and Minnie almost have, like, a romantic thing going on.
Which was really hot, and I like that a lot more than the Minnie in the original Rosemary. I would much rather have this version of Minnie into my life.
It also makes way more sense to me, because, like, clearly Roman is like eternal, right? Like he's working for the devil to stay alive, and who the fuck wants to be 70 forever? Right? You want to be like young forever.
Yeah, he's
right?
like, they're like in their 40s. Would
you want to be like 95 forever?
No, you'd want to be like 30 to 40, right?
You want to be
or maybe 20.
25 to like, 30. 28 is probably perfect.
I would say
28 to 32
to 40 is the range of like, if I'm going to be immortal, I want to be somewhere in
It depends on how your body is.
Okay.
Right? Looks wise, sure, maybe for a woman versus a man, maybe it's a little different, but it's how your body feels. But
you feel fine. Like in this scenario, because you're immortal, you feel fine. But like you don't have like the issues.
If I could have like the way my body felt when I was 20 and how I looked when I was like 32, 30.
I like you at this age though.
Sure. But, like, yeah, probably 32 to 35 is probably, for me, the best I ever looked. But the way I feel, no. Have to be my 20s. It'd be, like, 20.
In this, Minnie and Roman they're, like, in their 40s, though.
Yeah.
Right?
She's a little older.
Late 40s.
Yeah, late 40s. But much more believable. Fucking someone in their, like, 70s.
But also, the way that they act in this, and this is maybe modernized, obviously, but she's much more, like, she's still in their business. They both are, but in a much more, like, nicer way, I guess. I don't know how to say that, but, like, she's really sweet with her. Yeah, versus, like, the Minnie and the OG is, like, they're, like, overbearing parents that you're just, like, get the fuck out, like, I don't care. But in this one, it's, like, yeah, they're, like, friends, but also kind of parents. There's, like, definitely that vibe.
And also kind of lovers.
Also, yeah. They're, like, the older couple that's, like, we want to fuck you and also, like, be your benefactors.
And Roman might fuck Rosemary in this?
We can't tell. There's definitely a scene where it kind of feels like it's him.
Posing as guy?
Because what we were talking about. Yeah. So... Also, there's a cat in this that they named No Name, which is sad, but the cat's really cute. It's a black cat. In this, it really highlights, so Guy is, instead of an actor, he's a writer. Yeah. And he's trying to publish a book. Or he's trying to write a book to publish it. He hasn't even written it yet.
Yeah.
And the whole reason they moved to Paris is because he takes a teaching job at, like, a university or something. And, again, he sells her out and everything, but, like, after the impregnation, he can't
he's like
touch her. He like doesn't, like, they literally, like, the next morning she wakes up and she's also got scratches on her during the whole sex scene. He's there watching the devil like have sex with her, and the next morning he's like, instead of being like, I had sex with you while you were unconscious, he's like, look, like, you scratched me, like, we were both so into it.
She's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry.
She apologizes, which is crazy.
Which is a really smart spin on it.
Good. Yeah. And then she's like, well, we could, you know, like, she, like, wants to have sex with him again. Yeah, and he's like, no. Like, well,
and I'm, you know, here now, sober now.
Right, like, I'm aware, like, and he's like, no. Yeah. And she's like, this is weird, like, you've never said no to having sex with me before.
I mean, if Roman does have sex with her, then Guy never has sex with her.
Well, yeah. Again. So what happens is then later on, Roman, I think, is talking to Guy and basically being like, you need to, like, fuck your wife.
Yes.
Like, you need to, like, take care of her and, like, make her feel like she's loved. And
he's like, do you want to fuck
there's
her?
a scene where they have sex, but
Yeah.
then, like, afterwards, she's in the bathtub. It's kind of like a dream sequence. Like, she's
Yeah.
in the bathtub with her big old belly.
Yeah.
And Roman walks in and is, like, touching her belly, and they have, like, this moment. So it's kind of...
Well,
I feel like
also
it's
because they have
implied.
that scene where they're out walking and he's talking about fucking his wife, and then he's like, well, you want to do it for me? And he's like, it's tempting. And
Right.
then, yeah, the way it's shot, it does seem like she might be under some kind of glamour spell.
Yeah.
Where he looks like the husband, but it's actually Roman. I don't know. I think it's possible that it's Roman that fucks her.
But the reason I think it might not be, though, is also because, like, right after that scene, Guy goes out to, like, lunch with Minnie, and
they, like, make out.
They do make out. But he, like, tells her, like, I thought it was easier than I thought, like, talking about the sex, and she's like, oh, well, like, blah, blah, you have a penis or whatever. And he's like, no, like, I actually still have feelings for her.
Right.
So it does seem like he did have sex with her, but it's interesting. I don't know, Roman still could have gone in there and been like, tag team out.
Yeah, probably not then.
Probably not.
Probably
but
right.
yeah, and you know, she's got her friend in this as a girl instead of like an older man, and she is like friends with
slept with her husband.
Yeah, they're like very close friends,
Yeah.
and she's like, you know, telling her, trying to get her to go to another doctor and being like, this isn't right, you're not supposed to be losing weight, you're not supposed to be in like agony. And I really like Rosemary in this because she is a much more modern woman, where eventually she is like, she has a great line where she's like, the body is mine, like the baby's just renting it for 9 months.
Yeah.
I really liked that moment of hers. And how she also tries to stand up to Minnie and be like, I've been listening to literally everybody else except for myself.
Yeah.
When I should be. And I'm like, yes, you should be. Also in this, they have like the...
Go ahead.
Oh, what?
No, I was just going to say that you do yours. I was going to talk about the maintenance man who's like animalistic and has no tongue.
There's such a weird character to have in there.
Yeah.
She like goes into her apartment and there's a guy just like running on all fours, like grunting at her.
Yeah.
And then Minnie comes and is like, oh, sorry.
She's like, oh, sorry, he has no tongue. And I'm like, when you lose your tongue, you also lose your ability to walk on 2 legs.
You also become an
animalistic.
Animal.
Yeah.
So weird.
Yeah. Super fucking weird.
I was just gonna say that they explore the people that the couple they had before them, like the woman kills herself, and the husband is like kind of still around, like he's sort of trying to warn them, but he's also like, I want what I was. And he dies horribly. So that's the other part.
His death is terrible.
Crazy. He gets shot and then in surgery like wakes up and dies. But there's a lot of gore in this.
Yeah, there's some gnarly deaths.
The friend is like taking this, like, she's like a chef, or she's taking a cooking class, and it's like a really tense scene in the kitchen. It's like super busy and stressful, and this is after they've taken you know, Guy takes like her cross necklace to curse her.
Yeah.
She gets like splashed in the face with boiling oil, and then falls and like hits her head against like a steel, like the corner of one of those like steel tables, and just like bleeds out shaking, and it's fucked.
And the detective.
He
also is like,
oh god, yeah.
He's driving and he's going to pick up Rosemary, and then like his body like, starts to get taken over control of, and he like can't really use his body.
The
and he's
wheel.
Like his vision. There's a lot of really cool visuals here where like the wheel looks like it's like melted.
Like made of rubber.
Yeah, and
he like can't hold it. He's trying to.
And he's like starting to kind of like go almost blind, and he's sweating so profusely, and then he like gets out of the car and he's bleeding from all his orifices.
It's crazy.
And then he gets out of the car and just gets hit by a truck.
Yeah.
Gnarly shit. The guy who shoots Roman, who was from the previous couple that was gonna make their baby, and he's like, I want what I was promised, or the fact they make him wake up while he's having surgery, and because he wakes up and starts screaming and moving around, and the doctor has like the scalpel in there and starts nicking all sorts of arteries and cutting him up, and his like intestines are all screwed. I mean, that is probably one of the most horrific ways you could possibly die, is to wake up on the operating table and start moving around and having them cutting you, and you're screaming in agony and scared, and the doctor's like, oh my God, what's happening?
Awful. But yeah, I like all of that. I like that it's a lot more brutal. Like that we're seeing like the witchcraft stuff happen, and I also like that it's a little sexier with like Minnie and Roman. Like they're both attractive, and there's like a little bit more like eroticism with that, because I do feel like with Satanic Panic stuff, like I want both. I want there to be eroticism, and then I also want there to be like violence.
Yeah. Sex and violence. Sex and violence. Yeah.
So, yeah, I like this a lot. And, you know, the ending, it's, like, the same. Except we see Rosemary pushing her little devil baby around. She, you know, agrees.
And we see a human devil in this.
Yeah.
With, like, blue eyes.
He's got the crazy blue eyes.
They don't go for, like, a demon-looking thing in this at all. It's just, like, a regular, like...
Oh, yeah. It's a really...
good-looking dude kind of thing. And it's like,
Yeah.
That's
lame. I would prefer to have a demon, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought this one was great. I was really into all of this, and love the kitty. I'm glad that they have a cat, even though it's a devil cat. But they always villainize black kitties.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's plenty more, but we've talked long enough, so...
We've talked plenty.
That's the Rosemary's Baby franchise with all of the Apartment trilogy and all of the prequels, sequels, remakes. There's a prequel, there's a sequel, and a remake.
We did it.
This one's got everything. I don't think that there's a single... Is there a single popular horror film that did not get any future content? Like a prequel, a sequel, a television show, something.
Yeah.
Is there one? I do not know that it exists.
I don't know either.
A popular one? No. I don't think so. Name one, please. I'm curious. Mm-hmm. If you got a title, what's a very classic, memorable, everybody talks about it still, everyone knows it, it's totally classic, that did not get a remake, a sequel, a prequel, a television series, some additional thing. It doesn't exist. I don't think it exists. At this point in 2025, I don't think anything has anything anymore. So, there you go. This one has them all, but only one of each.
Yeah, at least there's only one of each.
And interestingly, the last thing here on Rosemary's Baby, the miniseries, is this is actually based on Rosemary's Baby, the book, as well as Son of Rosemary's Baby, which didn't come out until almost all of these movies had been made, other than Apartment 7A.
Yeah.
So that one didn't come out till the 2000s, that book, from what I read. So 2006, if I remember correctly, something like that. So this is like a much later sequel book, but there's no sequel stuff in here. So that's kind of odd, right? Like, look what's happened to Rosemary's Baby is like a sequel, but this doesn't have anything beyond Rosemary's Baby. It's just her walking the kid in a stroller. That's it. That's the only sequel stuff we get. It's like 30 seconds. So weird that there's not more, since that's based on something, but maybe that book's about like other things that happened during Rosemary's Baby.
Maybe.
Like stuff she's recounting.
Yeah.
And they address that stuff in here. I don't know. Anyway, guys, that's it. Have you seen these movies? What are your thoughts? What did we not talk about? What are we wrong about? All that good stuff. And we're already in the midst of doing our next Mystery Marathon movies. We're watching them right now. You'll have to wait and see what those are. And until next time, don't let your husband control you. Don't give birth to the devil's baby.
If you can help it.
All right, guys.
Bye.
This is no dream. This is
really happening.